Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Zamot podcast, where we focus on faith,
family,
fitness,
finances,
and friendships.
Today, I'm going to be reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verses 5 and 6. And it reads, "Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses." Amen.
Amen.
Awesome. So we will be following up on that verse of scripture as we get into our podcast topic. But first, we're going to answer some questions from this game that we have called Tonight's Conversations. Okay. All right. So I'll let my wife choose the first question.
What was your first impression of me, and is it still the same?
This is a really good question. So my first impression of you, darling, was you are drop dead gorgeous. Okay. So I met her at Publix in 2017. I was an assistant produce manager, and I was in my department at the time. She was in the deli, and she worked right next to me. And I saw her coming out of the cooler section, walking into the cooler.
I wasn't even coming into the cooler, like coming from the cooler section. I was coming into work.
Oh, coming into work. I
just got there.
Okay, perfect. So she was coming into work, but she was passing the cooler section, and she went in like, the little side area. And I looked, and then I looked again, and I was like, good Lord, got to be mine.
I saw him double take, and I'm like, got him if I want him.
Yeah. So that was my first impression of you, darling. Is it still the same? Of course.
Of course.
Y'all see her?
My first impression of him, truthfully, I'm like, he play games. But when I actually talk to him, I'm like, oh, he is such a sweetheart. He is such a sweetheart. And it's still the same.
It's still the same.
Like manners, you can tell he respects women.
I respect people.
Yeah.
But especially women.
Not too much.
In a good way.
Okay. Okay, so now it's your turn to answer a question or two. Just kidding, just one.
All right. It says, "Do you feel like I keep secrets from you?" Ooh, why or why not?
Yes.
I do?
Yeah.
Why you feel like that?
I feel like you keep secrets when you're trying to surprise me or something like that. But deep, serious secrets, no, you can't hold a secret.
But that's what that means though. Do I keep secrets from you, like a secret?
A secret is a secret though.
No, a surprise isn't a secret because it's gonna be revealed.
But it's a secret until it's revealed.
Okay.
Good point.
Do you feel like I keep secrets from you, and why or why not? No, I don't feel like you keep secrets from me. I feel like you forget to tell me a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fake. Because I remember it randomly.
Like 3 days later, she's like, "Oh yeah, this, and that happened." I'm like, "That's important. Why didn't you tell me that day?" "Oh, I forgot." Like what? Okay.
I did. Okay.
All right. We got another one. Is my turn again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is my turn. Okay, it says, "What moment in my past do you wish you could have experienced with me? Explain." Wow, that's
when you went to that cruise, that Disney cruise, or the cruise that you went on with your family.
Oh yeah.
Because you said that was the best vacation, the best experience.
Yeah,
so,
that's fine.
I wish I would have been able to be a part of that. Crazy part about it was I was in your life.
2 years later.
What year did you go on that cruise?
We went in 2015.
Oh no, I wasn't in your life. Okay.
Yeah, you wasn't. You was in my heart.
You
just ain't know it yet.
Ooh.
Neither did I. Ooh.
Don't look at them.
Okay. It's you. Okay. What? Okay, you read it.
What moment in my past do you wish you could have experienced with me? Explain.
What moment in your past do I wish I could have experienced with you? I want to say high school. I wish I could have experienced high school with you.
Why?
Just to see how you was. Just so I could snatch you up in high school.
And we could have been high school sweethearts.
We could have been high school sweethearts. That's why.
I don't know if I would have liked you in high school. I would have had a couple words to say to you because the person I am now is different from the person I was in high school. Like in high school, I was more timid, more like low key.
Yeah.
Like I was outgoing to people that I knew.
Right.
But like just the fact that you were like the class clown and like you were just outgoing
You
and popular with a lot of people, I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't say I was popular with a lot of people. I was popular amongst the people that I was around.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
wasn't
same
like,
with me too. But it's
yeah.
like the class clown stuff, I probably would. I was the one like roasting the class clowns. Like, boy, sit down somewhere. You're doing too much. Let this teacher teach. I was that person.
Oh yeah, nah.
So I'm pretty sure
like,
with me saying that,
tomato.
exactly, and I would have been tight. Like I wouldn't have had took that as a joke. You told me boo tomato back then. I would like, okay, let's see about them tomatoes after this class. Male, female. These hands was bilingual. Like I was.
You would have wanted to fight.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
Why?
Cause I had stuff going on at home, so I'm like, I got some built up aggression. So really, anybody just irritated me, or really was just doing the most at school. Like, why are you coming to school doing all that?
Right.
Like me, I was really going to school to try to like better myself and try to like get out of the situation at home. Right. So to me, like somebody came to school and just wanted to play and just be difficult. Like
you wasn't on that.
I wasn't on it until my senior year.
Well, it's good that we didn't meet in high school then. Yeah, it's good that we didn't meet because I was on that. I was playing. I was playing big time. Matter of fact, my
I played so much.
My junior and my senior year, I had work release, so I only had like 3 or 4 classes.
Yeah.
So I would be out of school by like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or like 10:30, like 10:30, because school is until what 2:10. So yeah, like 10:30, I was out of school. But I never left school. Like I would leave school, go get some food, and come back.
Right.
And I went to all the lunches, to gym class. Like, oh, it was a good time. Anyways.
Splendid time.
Anyways, those are the questions. We did 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those are our questions. So getting into our topic for today, how to handle or how to approach uncomfortable conversations, right? With friends, loved ones, peers, associates, whoever it may be. All right. So I have a question for you, babe. So here's my question. Okay. Per our topic. So why do you think people struggle so much? And I was one of those people. Why do you think people struggle so much with telling people they love the truth or telling them what they want to hear? I mean, not what they want to hear, what they need to hear.
Rejection.
Rejection?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like rejection is the biggest factor of why I feel like people hold back. Because if I take my time to tell you something that is already difficult for me to come out and tell you as you being someone that I care about.
Right.
And then in return, I get like a slap in the face. Like you don't receive absolutely anything I'm saying. And not only do you not receive it, but you shut it down completely.
Right.
No one wants to be rejected. So that rejection that you get from that is like, well, I'm not going to tell them because I know how, like, especially when you're dealing with family and friends, anyone that you care about, you know, you're going to get, well, oh, I know how they're going to respond to it. And I know that they're going to do this. And I know that they're not going to, you know, hear me out when I say this or when I try to correct them or push them to whatever it is the topic is. Yeah. You know what they're going to say. So you already have this agenda in your head that they're not going to receive it. So when you do actually come out and say it, and it is what you suspected, then it's like, well, that's why I didn't say it.
Confirmation, so, yeah.
That rejection is the reason why most people don't want to dive into those conversations.
That makes sense because, you know, I'm 28.
Y'all don't know that by now?
Come on, you should know by now. I'm 28.
Let them know when the birthday is.
Okay, April 22nd, 1995.
Okay.
All right, 28. So hear me out. The reason that I mention that is because, as I said in one of our previous episodes, since turning 28, there's been like a transition in my life and my mental, and how I approach people and how I approach situations. So I have been much more direct. I've been much more assertive. I've been much more like to the point. But as a former people pleaser and a former person who did whatever to avoid confrontation, especially with people that I cared about, I'll say from my perspective, the reason that people that are like myself do those things, right? Don't want to tell the truth or don't want to, shed light on what somebody actually needs to hear is because, again, they just want to avoid confrontation, right? You don't want to be in a, I don't want to say an argument, but in a tough conversation with somebody that you care about, telling them things that they need to hear. And going back to what you said, with the uncertainty of whether they're going to receive it or not.
Yeah.
Right. So again, it's just if they reject the information that I'm telling them, right? I've just given them all this information about, probably giving them advice of what they should or should not be doing.
Yeah.
And they reject that, and it's like, dang, I just wasted my breath. All right. So going back to our verse of scripture, Proverbs 27 verses 5 and 6. So verse 5 says, better is open rebuke than hidden love. All right. So to me, that means it's better to tell somebody the truth than to hide your love for an individual. Okay. So meaning if you have to tell somebody the truth, you got to keep it real with them. It's better to keep it real with them and hurt their feelings rather than you having feelings for somebody or love for somebody and keeping that to yourself and not disclosing that. Right. So that's how I interpret that scripture. And then verse 6, it says, wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. All right. So why can wounds from a friend be trusted? Well, if they're a true friend, they may have to harm you to help you. And what I mean by that is by them telling you the truth and telling you what you need to hear as opposed to what you want to hear, the truth hurts, right? We hear that all the time. The truth hurts. And if they're your friend, you got feelings for them, right? You got love for them, then it's going to hurt coming from them, especially because there's a connection there, because there's some love that you guys share. So, what?
I was just about to say, like, to chime in, like, so many times you hear, like, oh, that was my friend. I wouldn't believe they, like, I can't believe that they would tell me that. Oh, that's my son. That's my daughter. I can't believe they would do this to me. That's my mother. That's my father.
I will believe it.
I can't believe they would do that to me.
Right.
Because it hurt. It hurts different when it's coming from somebody that you love and somebody that you care about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses, right? So meaning that a friend is going to tell you the truth, or a friend should tell you the truth, and it may hurt because it's the truth.
Yeah.
But they're your friend, and that's their job, is to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. They need to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Now, an enemy is going to tell you all the things that you want to hear. That's why it says an enemy multiplies kisses, right? They're going to show you all this love at face value. It seems like it's love, but in the back room or in the back door, they're going to be talking to other people about some things that you're doing that they don't agree with, or some truths that they need to share with you that they're not sharing with you because they don't want to hurt your feelings, because they really don't care about you, right? If you care about somebody, you're going to tell them the truth regardless of how they feel about it.
Yeah.
Right? That's just what it is. I had to learn that, right? I had to go through a process of learning that, because I always thought that if I told somebody the truth that I loved and I hurt their feelings, that I wasn't helping them. I was actually hurting them. That's the furthest thing from the truth. If you don't tell somebody the truth that you love, then you're hurting them by not telling them the truth.
Yeah.
All right. By telling them the truth, you're helping them. It may hurt them, but you got to hurt them to help them.
And I also want to chime in, like, just because you haven't reached a point to where you can open up and tell people that you love completely the truth, you need to push yourself to that limit. Like, you need to push yourself to do that, because the longer that you hold it in and the longer that you compromise and not vocal, especially when it comes to situations to where it is what your loved ones are doing is affecting you, you gotta like make something shape. Like for me personally, like dealing with certain family members, I won't name no names, but just dealing with certain family members, it was hindering my growth as a person. It was hindering me. And I reached the point, especially when I had we started having kids, and really before we had our second child, just having our first one. I started to see patterns that happened during my childhood, that I'm like, I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I let it slide. I let it just, go on without saying anything, because it's like, I don't. It's not that I couldn't vocalize it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I don't want to deal with that right now.
Right.
I really don't want to deal with having to go back and forth with you, or having to completely cut you off. And that's the issue. Like, people really don't want to put it in God's hand. Like, for my situation, like, I'll just go ahead and speak on it because everything is in the light. Like, as far as my parents, like, I don't have a relationship with my parents. I don't really speak to, my parents, because of that fact of me vocalizing how I felt and what the truth was and what I needed. Like, just being a grown adult now, and like that mess with their flesh and mess with my flesh. So I can't grow and I can't heal from a situation if I'm still allowing you guys to be in my space and allowing the same things that hinder and trigger me to happen. So I had to have that tough conversation. And when you have those tough conversations and someone doesn't accept it right there and then, disconnect yourself, because God can't work on you and heal and grow you from those situations if you're still allowing yourself to go through those situations and still allowing yourself to be triggered and compromising, because that's really what it is. If I can't come out and tell you, hey, this, then I'm compromising.
That's the truth.
And I'm compromising, I'm hindering myself, and I'm hindering my growth.
Yeah. It's like, who you going to choose? You're going to choose their feelings or your feelings, right?
If you really love them,
whose
like,
feelings are more important?
If I cut you today, if I cut you right here today, it's going to bleed, it's going to hurt, but what's going to eventually happen? That wound is eventually going to heal, and it's just going to be a little bitty scar. But you're going to always remember, dang, I got cut there because I tried her. You're not going to do it again.
Right.
Like, dang, like that really cut me deep, them saying that you have anger issues and trust issues, and you need to work on yourself, and you need to stop blaming everybody else for your mistakes and go get therapy and go get help.
Right.
Ow, it hurts.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
It hurts temporarily.
Temporarily,
overall, at the end of the day, whenever you reach that point of healing and you recognize that, okay, they were saying that to me to try to help me and not harm me, okay, after a while it's gonna be kumbaya. Maybe not, but regardless, you did what you needed to do for you, and that's what it boils down to.
I'm willing to live with that, right? See, I'm at the point in my life where I'm willing to live with the consequences of telling somebody the truth, right? I'm willing to live with it because it, I want to have a clear conscience in my life, right? I don't want to have these thoughts in my head of, dang, I should have told that person how I really felt, or I should have told them the truth about a certain situation. I don't want to have those thoughts, right? I want to have a clear conscience. So if I tell you the truth about something and you're feeling some type of way about it and it severs the relationship, we never talk again, cool, so be it. At least you know where I stand.
Yeah.
Right? At least you know where I stand. But know that I'm gonna choose my feelings and my consciousness over yours. Right? It sounds selfish, but hey, if I ain't looking out for me, then who's gonna look out for me?
Exactly.
Right? I have to do things that are in my best interest in terms of my peace of mind. Okay? Now, I'm not speaking of just doing things selfishly that only benefit me. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when it comes to my peace of mind, I have to protect my peace of mind because I got to live here.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't got to live here. I got to live here.
You lay your head on that pillow at night and you still
got to
think
about these things.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to bother me. It's going to harden my heart, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah. So I need to tell you the truth, regardless of how you feel about it. And whatever happens after that, hey, so be it. You know where I stand. You know what it is. All right? And in life, you think about it. In life, making things easier for people, it hinders them. It never makes them any better. In what situation in life is making something easier for somebody helping them? There's not one situation in life where making something easier helps the individual. Yeah. Never.
When you see them drowning, it's like before you jump into, I don't know, a 12-foot pool, they tell you, okay, well, this pool tide is a little bit different. Put on your life jacket.
Right.
You see somebody that you love, put on a life jacket, but you realize they don't buckle it.
Right.
Okay, go ahead and buckle up your life jacket. oh, it's too tight, it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you need to buckle that life jacket
That's
up
correct.
or you're going to sink and you drown.
Right.
Oh, no, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I wash my hands clean. I set it off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
The other situation, the other side of that is if you say, you don't say nothing, but the person, you hear somebody else say, oh, make sure you know the instructions said, make sure you buckle up that life jacket. Because if you don't buckle up that life jacket, it's not going to work. Then you see the person that you love jump into that 12-foot pool. And now they're, I am drowning, I'm drowning. Because you didn't want to listen to the person that loves you, to that friend that trusts you. Like,
yeah, that's good. So
I got a question for you real quick.
Okay, perfect. I like questions.
Okay, so my question is, how did you come to the realization that you needed to stop being a people pleaser?
I realized it wasn't serving me at all. It wasn't serving me. And I realized that, again, just going back to what I said earlier, making things easier for somebody doesn't help them. Mm-hmm. And if I really love somebody, then I would tell them the truth, or I would do everything in my power to properly prepare them for what's to come. Mm-hmm. Right? Whether it's giving them wise words, whether it's laying out the blueprint, telling them the truth. Right? If I really love somebody, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that they're set up for success. And lying to somebody or withholding information, withholding the truth from somebody is not setting them up for success, right? Because they may not have anybody else in their life that's going to tell them the truth. It may be a bunch of people that they have in their life that see the same flaw or see the same, thing about to happen, and they don't speak up. Yeah. They don't speak up because they have the same fear that I had, right? Which is the rejection and you not receiving it the right way, severing relationships. Like, but hey, it's a risk, but everything's a risk. All right. I'm willing to live with that risk. So that's how I came to the realization that I need to stop being a people pleaser. I realized that it was not serving me and it was not serving the people that were in my life.
Yeah. And most of the times, like, especially when you have a family, even before, we got together and before we had a family, I started to do that work with everyone that was in my circle, everyone that surrounded me, because it's just like, that's how cycles continue to happen. Like, I had certain friends in my life, and every year around the same time, the same thing was happening because I'm connected to the same people that haven't changed. I've changed, but they're in the same cycle. Right. The same with family. You can't break certain things off your family. Okay, let me get close to the camera real quick. You can't break certain things off of your family if you are still allowing the same cycles to generate. Yeah. It's not happening. You can't break any generational curses. Oh, I bind generational curses and this is going to break off my family. Nothing is going to break off your family. Right. Break off your friend circle until you start having tough conversations, until you start holding people accountable for the conversations that you're having. Yeah. You can't have a conversation, okay, mom, dad, sister, brother, auntie, whoever it is. You can't have those tough conversations and then go back to allowing them to still be disrespectful, still allowing them to do the same things that come against the boundaries that you have set in your life. If they're not respecting those boundaries, okay, respectfully but disrespectfully, you have to go to the other side until you figure that out. Yeah. Because I'm at a point in my life to where I have to break certain things off of me, and you're tied to those things that I'm trying to break off of myself. Yep. So I can't have you around if you're not going to be on the same page that I'm on, right? Because we do have a family and we do have children and certain things that have been passed down from us generationally that we haven't necessarily sowed those seeds, but our people before us, like our parents, their parents, all of them have those same things that was on them that they didn't have the courage and the strength to break off. So understand when you are doing that work and that you are having those tough conversations and that you're okay. I'm going to stand up. Mom, this. You can't let people walk all over you, friends or family. Yeah. And you can't hold it in. Like, you can't, because it hinders them. It doesn't help them. You can't come vent to me about it, fuss to me about it, and then go 5 minutes after we have the conversation and coddle them. Oh, it's okay, and make excuses for them. It's not okay. Like, it's not okay. And I'm the type of person that, like, I'll get quiet, and I really do listen to God with that, because I know if Deja deals with it the way that she wants to really deal with it, then it's not going to be a process of healing at all. Like, you can't tell somebody the truth and be honest and be completely disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know, like,
speak the truth in love.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna, if I want you to really hear me in certain situations, especially when it comes to family and friends and people that you love, you can be completely honest and completely straightforward, but don't be disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know, like, because if you come to me, you can be honest with me. You can tell me the truth, and I'm gonna have high respect for that. You get what I'm saying? But don't be disrespectful with it. Yeah. Like, it's a way of coming, unless someone's being disrespectful to you. But if you're correcting somebody and you're, trying to pour into them, and you're trying to tell them the truth because you see them going down a bad path, or you see like, or you're just giving them advice over a situation that they ask you about, yeah, be respectful about it, unless they come at you disrespectful.
For sure.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, you respect people who are respectable, right? But if somebody's disrespectful, you can treat them the same way.
Yeah. It doesn't. Not saying that it's right.
Yeah, not saying that it's right, but.
Or walk away. I'll say, like, if I feel disrespected, I've done it recently. I felt disrespected. I have to remove myself from the situation. I have to get quiet. Yeah. I have to say I love you, and that's it. Like, I'm not about to go back and forth with you until God tells me speak. Yeah. And I literally have to do it like that, because I could become disrespectful, and what you're supposed to be, because God is using me or God is using you, what you're supposed to heal and grow from in that situation, it's going to be hindered because I acted out of my flesh whenever it was a spiritual thing as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell anybody who is struggling with pleasing people or just speaking the truth in love, right, to their friends, family members, or anybody that they care about. My advice or my wise words to you would be, if you really love them the way you say you love them, or the way you think you love them, you will tell them the truth, right? And just try to reframe the way you're thinking about it. Withholding the truth from somebody isn't going to help them at all, right? If it's something that they need to know and it's important, you need to be the one to tell them, right? Take that responsibility on yourself. You need to be the one to tell that person, because if you don't, just think that nobody will, right? Now, that may not be the truth, but that's how you got to look at it, and it'll help you take action. All right? Do you want to say anything else there?
No, honestly, just take the steps necessary to push yourself to have those tough conversations, because I know it's easier said than done. Like, yeah, like you said, you're 28 and you just reached that point to where it's like, okay, don't be offended, but blah, 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 and I've reached a point to where I've always been very blunt with my friends, but with my family, I have compromised a whole lot, kept it in, took years to actually fully come out and say how I truly felt. So it is a process, but the quicker you do it, the quicker you rip the Band-Aid off, especially when you see habits that just is not beneficial to you, then it helps you in the long run. So every episode is just to push and to grow, you guys. And be active down there in that comment section. Tell us something that you want some advice on, and we'll actually, gear the conversation towards that and whatever episode that we drop next.
We appreciate all the support. We appreciate the love. We'll be dropping another episode next Monday. All right, y'all just stay tuned. All right, like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, all of that. Okay. All right, that's our little one here. Okay.
All right, y'all.
So we appreciate y'all. Let love fill your hearts, family.
Peace and blessings. Say bye.